finalized with the self-learning modules? Can you discuss this briefly?
Yes, I hear Secretary Briones.
Your Honor, Undersecretary Dadson Antonio can adequately answer that question. He's overseeing the matter of self-learning modules.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Ma'am Liling. Madam Chair, the approaches in delivering distance learning delivery modalities, we have offered several options. Those learners with access to the internet and with gadgets at home will do online distance learning. Those with no access to internet but with access to gadgets will be doing modular digital. The learning resources will be sent to the learners through flash drives or other means, and they will be able to open the learning resources at home. The other type is modular printed. This is the most popular choice of the families, even in areas where we believe they have gadgets or they have access to the internet. Printed self-learning modules will be used. And then we will also be making use of TV and radio, essentially to supplement the other modalities. So we are saying it's going to be essentially blended distance learning because the learners will be able to access different learning resources. We also will be using the textbooks that have been mapped against the most essential learning competencies, together with a learning plan and activity sheets our fellow teachers will prepare. Depending on the distance learning delivery modality, essentially the learning will happen at home. So this would really need the support of parents or grandparents or any significant adult who is capable of providing the guidance and support. But as earlier suggested, there would be some families whose parents or adult members of the household would not be capable or won't have the time to actually extend support to the children. And this is the case where the learner support aides and other volunteers would be able to provide the support. The actual strategy will not be uniform, as has been consistently mentioned by Secretary Liling. The schools and the division officers have been empowered to come up with their own decisions consistent with the situations that they have in their own areas. So as has been demonstrated by our dry runs, the schools and the division offices have come up with their own arrangements on how the printed self-learning modules will be brought to the families.
How many self-learning materials are you supposed to produce for the students, for the learners?
Your Honor,
How many SLMs do you intend to produce?
we are preparing SLMs that would...
I'm not asking you how much you're preparing. How much will you produce?
Yes,
How many SLMs will you produce?
I'll check my files, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, these kind of questions are very basic. They're talking about a modality, a self-learning method adapted for the pandemic circumstances. They say that they made adjustments in order for DepEd to deliver distance learning at a magnitude never done before. So, I'm asking you, how many SLMs do you intend to produce?
Just a moment, Your Honor. I have to refer to my files. I have not memorized everything.
How many learners are in public schools today from K to 12?
As of this morning, it's more than 22 million.
Okay, so aren't you supposed to produce 22 million sets of SLMs?
It's not going to be for all, Your Honor, because
Yusek, unless you are able to justify that each one is not supposed to be entitled with one SLM. You have to explain paano yung online, paano yung radio and TV. You have not discussed that. So I suppose kailangan one-on-one. Di ba? How do you think these people will be able to cope up with the education under the circumstances of COVID kung magse-share sila? Halimbawa, dalawa. I'm not asking you kung paano. I'm asking you how much you're going to produce. There are 22 million learners. Tapos sasabihin mo, hindi mo alam kung paano produce mo?
May I be allowed to reply, Madam Chair?
Go ahead.
As I was mentioning, not all learners will be given the printed modules.
Okay,
they will all have access to the learning resources.
How much will you produce? Sige, sabihin na natin na hindi lahat po pwedeng mabigyan, but how much do you intend to produce for the first and second quarter of this year?
We're still gathering information because we will make adjustments, Your Honor, on the allocations on the basis of, like, there are local governments making available gadgets.
What kind of answer are you telling us? I'm only asking you how much SLMs will you produce for the first and second quarter, given 22 million learners. Hindi mo man lang alam sagutin? Kasi ito ang problema, Madam Chair. Noon pa, two budget years ago, I've been asking them to prepare kasi mali yung ginagawa nila. Pinabayaan nila yung book publishing industry. They forgot that there is a Republic Act 8047. This National Book Development Board is not doing anything. Dumating ang pandemic, they do not know what to do. So they invented SLMs. What do you call this? Self-learning materials. Thereby modules. Madam Chair, alam mo ang ginawa nila? Because I think there are more than 14,000 learning competencies today. What they did is to streamline that. At ang sabi nila, they reduce it with what they believe like most essential learning competencies. Madam Yusuf, will you confirm that? They reduce the competencies to only 40% para lang ma-produce ang module. Okay. Nobody is explaining, Madam Chair, whether or not the 40% reduction, a 60% reduction, ang na-retain lang do sa ating total competency is only 40%. So, from 100% learning competency, ginawa nilang 40% lang to be able to produce a module. They call it most essential learning competencies. You tell me now, how can you prove to me that there is still quality education sa ating mga learners? 40% na lang ang natira through the modules, and you cannot even answer how many modules you can produce for each. 40% na lang ang natira, Madam Chair. Pagkatapos hindi mo mabigyan ng kahit isa man lang. Somebody is answering?
Yes.
May I provide a response, Your Honor?
Okay.
Our computation is about 59% of the learners will be provided the printed self-learning modules.
Okay, how much have you produced today? Kasi October 5 na eh. Ano na tayo? September 15. Maybe you have 20 days. You're producing 50% or 59%?
59%.
Oh, how much is that? How much is 59% of 22 million? Do you think you can produce that?
That's being reproduced, Your Honor, right
Ito,
now
ma'am,
for
Madam
our
Chair, alam mo,
learners.
they are being produced. But you go to the ground. Pumunta ka sa Tarlac. Lahat, hindi lang sa Tarlac, Madam Chair, lahat ng probinsya nangihingi ng ganito, at ganyan, pati coupon ban, pati risograph, pati photocopying machines. They are not prepared, Madam Chair. You have to admit.
Madam Chair, may I also explain the point on the reduction of the learning competencies? When the COVID-19 came, we were in the process of reviewing the curriculum, and we have discovered that indeed, as consistent with what has been mentioned by many sectors, the curriculum is congested. And so we were in the process of identifying the essential learning competencies, because we feel that the competencies is indeed overcrowded with a lot of details. So what we did was to identify the most essential ones. And we feel that many sectors agree with us that if we provide and pay attention to the foundational skills, the learners will end up being able to learn better, instead of the old practice of trying very hard to cover as many things as we can in terms of knowledge, skills, and values that the kids should learn.
With all due respect, Madam Chair, with all due respect, kamukha nitong mother tongue. From 92%, Madam Chair, ginawa nilang 8%. Okay? English, from 93%, ginawa nilang 7%. Sino sa inyo nagpanukala na dapat ganun? Sports track, 100%. Bakit?
Lapis ng pakita. Pangayo silong.
Bakit yung sports track 100% ang competency? Bakit yung English and mother tongue ginawa na lang ninyong 8% to 7%? And then you tell me na because of COVID, you were able to realize the competencies are congested and duplicated. Ngayon lang ninyo na napagmuni-muni na congested pala ang ating curriculum for so many years already, Madam Chair.
Excuse me, just want to gentle reminder to our Deputy Speaker that you have exceeded your time. Maybe you want to go for the second round.
I am very grateful to you, Madam Chair. I can go to second round, third round, up to 10th round if possible. But if this will be necessary, I don't think they will be able to defend their budget. I don't want to go to the plenary and blocking your budget. You need to... Tingnan mo, Madam Chair, yun lamang, they propose the acquisition of laptops and computers and so on and so forth. They have 9 billion yata na computerization program from 2021. Ano po ang nangyari sa mga computers na pinagbibili nyo year in and year out? 100,000 units of computers. I saw even your specification for 2014 and 2015. They are high-end. They can run even itong present day applications or computer. Nasaan na yung mga computers natin na binibili? We're giving you billions in computer program. Meron kayong portal. Meron kayong computer common in DepEd. Nasaan na lahat ng mga to? And then, sinasabi ninyo ngayon na magkukonect tayo ng ganito. Madam Chair, ang daming humingi ng laptops ngayon. In the provinces, you go to the provinces, this is the most chaotic department I have ever come across in the preparation of these learning modalities, Madam Chair. Pero, ang dami niyong nakaparadang mga sasakyan, high-A's and pickups in the central office. I saw them personally. You purchased more than 200 high-A's vehicles. Why? Madam Chair, ito yung marami akong itatanong dito eh.
Second round na po kasi ang dami eh. There are 35 more interpollators, sir. And if
One last question na lang, Madam. What is the difference between a module and a book? Kasi meron kayong mga libro eh. But this is the kind of thing that you forgot. For all you these years, for 25 years, you forgot the development of the publishing industry in this country. Ang ginawa nila, Madam Chair, module na lang. Piniprevent nila kasi pagka textbook, it's 48 pages, that's textbook. Ang ginawa nila, 30 pages ang module. Pero tingnan po ninyo yung modules na pinagsama-sama nila ngayon. Kindergarten lang, how many modules? 10 modules. Ilang pages? 258. That's more than 58. Parang libro din yun eh. Salamat po, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you very much, DS. Maybe a last remark from you, San Antonio.
Essentially, the difference between a textbook and a module is the module is used for self-learning. It provides clear instructions on how the learner will navigate learning. It actually allows interaction between the material and the learner, while a textbook is something that's done that covers a whole learning area or a whole discipline. The self-learning module is used in distance learning. Most distance learning interventions around the world would always make use of self-learning modules. So we did not create this. We just adopted what is being normally done by the experts around the world, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yusek. May I now acknowledge first the physical presence of Vice Chair